guys, it's Sheena from Teton Raptor Center, and I'm here to give you all this week's patient update. We've got a lot of birds in store for us this week, so we won't be covering each bird thoroughly as we have in previous weeks, but we will still be able to highlight every bird that we've got in care that has come in throughout the summer. So let's go ahead and get started. First up is our newest patient. This is Peregrine Falcon 826, and this bird was admitted from Victor, Idaho after what we believe is a foreign body in the bird's stomach. We'll be consulting with our vets at Jackson Animal Hospital on how to proceed with treatment for this bird, but we did see on her x-rays that there is a weird mass in the stomach of this bird. Next is Cooper's Hawk 825, and this juvenile hawk was admitted from Evanston, Wyoming after he had flown into a window. He's currently dealing with mild head trauma, which is pretty much healed, and he's flying around normally. However, he is kind of on the thin side, so we plan to fatten him up a little bit more before he's ready to be released. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 823, and this juvenile Swainson's came from Victor, Idaho after being found on the ground on the side of the road. We believe that this bird was hit by a car, and x-rays showed a broken clavicle and a broken coracoid. Luckily, both heal really well with cage rest, so this bird is currently healing up in our ICU. Next, we've got Golden Eagle 822, and this juvenile golden eagle was admitted from Teutonia, Idaho after being found on the ground. The bird showed no sign of trauma sustained to the body and nothing was broken. So we are currently treating this bird for intestinal parasites, and she's receiving supportive care in our ICU. You can see in this video she's really food motivated, which is typical behavior and something that we really like to see in a wild bird. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 822. Yet again, another juvenile Swainson's hawk that was admitted from Teutonia, Idaho. And although this bird has no fractures, we found him to be nutritionally thin. So we've started him on an emaciation protocol and are feeding him up so that he can gain weight. Here we have Osprey 817, and this juvenile bird was admitted from Idaho Falls after being found dangling from his leg due to baling twine entanglement. So the bird was cut free and brought to TRC, and we took some x-rays, and thankfully nothing was broken, but his leg was really swollen. He's currently in our PCU while his leg is healing, and he's doing well so far. Next, we've got Osprey 816, and this juvenile bird was admitted from the wastewater treatment plant in Rexburg, Idaho. This was the one that came in with soiled feathers, so after receiving a bath and time to bathe on his own, the bird ended up snapping some of his tail feathers because he couldn't get up off the ground. And so we did decide to imp his tail, which just means we implanted new feathers onto his tail from a donor osprey who had passed away. So this bird now has a fresh new tail, and we are excited to get him in the flight barn again flying. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 811, and this juvenile came in from Idaho Falls, Idaho. When the bird came in, he was emaciated upon admit, but we've been allowing him to gain weight slowly over time, and just recently this week the bird has moved over to the east side of the flight barn where he's living with 3 other juvenile Swainson's hawks. Next up is Swainson's Hawk 810, and this bird was admitted from Ashton, Idaho with a fracture in his pelvis. The bone is now fully healed, and the bird is now living in the east side of the flight barn as well with the 3 other Swainson's hawks. Next up is Golden Eagle 85, and this is the juvenile golden eagle from Gillette, Wyoming with eye trauma to the left eye. Unfortunately, this bird will not be able to recover from the injury that he has sustained to that eye, so we are considering placing him to be an education bird as a permanent resident at another facility. We're also considering an eye enucleation surgery, so that will remove the eye completely, and this bird could live in captivity with one eye just fine. Here we have Swainson's Hawk 84, and this juvenile bird came in from Afton, Wyoming due to a right clavicle fracture. The bone is now fully healed, and the bird is living in the east side of the flight barn with the 3 other Swainson's hawks as roommates. Next up, we have this adult female great gray owl who came in from Moran, Wyoming after being hit by a car. She has now moved out of the ICU and is living in a small enclosure where she receives physical therapy about 2 to 3 times per week. Here you can see that the injured eye that she's sustained trauma to still doesn't look great, and we do not believe that she will ever have vision in that eye. However, since owls hunt predominantly with their hearing, we do believe that this bird is still a good candidate for release. Next up, we have our adult female bald eagle. This is bald eagle 8-2, and this bird was hit by a car in Wilson, Wyoming. Upon admit, this bird had a lot of blood coming out of her mouth, which is typically indicative of head trauma. So that head trauma is fully healed, but she did sustain some trauma to her right wing from the car strike. And although nothing was broken, she still is showing signs of her being a little sore in that wing. So while she's healing up, she's receiving cold laser therapy about 2 to 3 times a week, which should help make that wing feel a little bit better. And last but not least for all of our summer birds is Swainson's hawk 730. And this juvenile hawk was admitted from Afton, Wyoming with some small fractures on both sides of his wings. So all of those fractures have healed, and the bird has now been moved to the east side of the flight barn with the 3 other juvenile Swainson's hawks. So all of these birds are living together, flying together, and live prey testing together to hopefully get out the door soon before migration. All right, that's all we've got for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed learning more about our birds, and I look forward to talking with you all next week. Bye!